On this episode, Rhonda shares her experience staying at Hard Rock Hotel and visiting Mardi Gras at the Universal Orlando Parks. Today is April 5th, 2022. This is episode 449 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. If you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. And then if you hit that subscribe button, you'll get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Coming up in just a few short weeks, April 22nd to 24th, we have our Main Street 16 Challenge Weekend, which is sponsored by Vacation Grocery Delivery, Mouse Dining, and our friends over at Touring Plans. You can head to mainstreet16.com, and today is the last day to sign up to join, so you can have a wonderful weekend with us down in Walt Disney World. And then finally, if you're getting ready to plan your next Disney or Universal vacation, maybe looking to go on a cruise or pretty much travel anywhere else in the world, head to mainstmagictravel.com and fill out a form for a free quote. Our travel services are completely free to you. Rhonda, you went on a vacation.
I did.
Without me.
I did.
Yeah. So I guess set up a little bit your trip and where you went, who you went with. Why did you go down on a Thursday, Friday? I was so glad that you had a chance to go experience this.
Yeah, it was fun. So my girlfriend, Rita, she texted me and she's like, I want to ride roller coasters with you. And I was like, okay. So
it's a good place to do it.
Yeah, let's go looking at some dates and some stuff. And so it happened to be our dates fell together. She knows my schedule. She's a nurse. So she kind of have the same schedule as me. Yeah, we found out that Thursday and Friday worked, and then Friday happened to be her actual birthday.
Perfect.
We were looking, and of course, this is her first time. Well, first time in a very long time.
Yeah.
I think she said the last time she was there was 2014.
Okay.
Obviously, I wanted to treat her right, as far as in we wanted to stay at one of the legacy hotels.
Yeah.
And if anybody doesn't know what that means, there are 3 hotels on Universal property that when you stay there, your key card to get into your room is also your unlimited express pass.
Yeah.
So again, with only having one night, we're spending the night, 2 days, I just thought, we need to stay on one of these properties. And actually, one that shocked me that wasn't too crazy expensive was Hard Rock Hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got what? Royal Pacific, Portofino Bay, and then Hard Rock are your legacy hotels.
Correct.
And that's that's Universal's word for deluxe. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you're right. They come with unlimited express pass with your room. And what's great about it is it's on check-in day through check-out day.
Correct.
Which is really, really cool. So not only are you getting it on Thursday, you guys are checking out Friday morning, but then you get it all day Friday as well.
And she also, when we were checking in, she did mention that we are allowed to keep our car parked at Hard Rock until midnight.
Of your checkout day?
Yep.
That's great. Yeah, because you guys took advantage of the parks on Fridays.
We did.
Friday and stayed till about 6 p.m.
And only because they closed because they're starting grad bashes now.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
That's right. They're closing early. Yeah, Kaylin gets to do hers here in a few weeks, right? So next month or something.
Yeah, I gotta look that up.
But that'll be exciting for her. Yeah, Hard Rock Hotel. What did you guys end up paying for the evening? Because this is another one where if you think about going, you guys are splitting this cost, so it makes even more sense. It was just under $600.
Yes.
That you guys had to split.
I think with tax and all, it was like $585.17.
Okay, so not bad at all when you guys are splitting that between the two of you.
And this was a pass holder rate.
Yeah. Okay. Was pass holder rate, so that's perfect. You were the lead on the room, so you can get the pass holder rate with Express Pass Unlimited on prime time. I mean, I don't know specifically what the price was the days you guys went, but it would not shock me if it was upward of $200 per person.
It was $287.
$287 per person per day when you went, correct? Because you would have to buy it for Thursday. And you would have to buy it for Friday.
Yeah, but I was confused because the lady, when I asked real quick, she was like, for 2 parks. And I was like, yeah. we were confused because we thought it was for 2 days.
No, that's per day.
That's what I thought.
So basically what you paid for the room, that's like you buying Express Pass and getting a room for free.
Correct.
I mean, I know it's the opposite. It's you buying a room and getting Express Pass for free, but still for 2 days, that's insane. So, and then, your friend Rita made out because they were running a Florida resident special where she bought 2 days and got 2 park days for free.
Correct.
So she still's got 2 days that she can go back. So really, I mean, you guys really made out on this, I think.
Yes.
But let's talk a little bit about Hard Rock Hotel, and I'll just go ahead and give a few of my research bulletin points here real quick.
Okay.
Bulletin points. It's bullet points, Jeremy. Opening date was December 1st of 2000. There are 650 rooms, including 29 suites. They are ranked as standard, deluxe, or my favorite club level name, Rock Royalty club level tiers.
Yeah.
Right. So standard rooms are 375 square feet. That makes them slightly larger than rooms at Disney's moderate resorts, but a bit smaller than most Disney deluxe rooms. There's a 12,000 square foot zero entry pool. 250 foot water slide is the longest at any Universal hotel. There's a sand beach, underwater speakers so you can hear the music. And then next to that, there's a fountain play area for kids, sand volleyball court, hot tubs, and a poolside bar. Talk about check-in process, lobby, decor. I've visited here before. To me, this has a very, very Vegas feel.
Yeah.
But much in the way that I explained Port Orleans French Quarter, it feels like the French Quarter without the smell of pee. This feels like Vegas to me when I went without the smell of like Vegas, like smoke. You know what I mean? Vegas, you walk in, everywhere smells smoky, even if you're not allowed to smoke in there. Like, what do you think of the decor? I mean, obviously it's Hard Rock themed. Is this like walking? Does this make you feel like an extension of their restaurants that most everybody listening has probably visited?
Yes.
Memorabilia wise.
Yes. And I would say that because there's a lot of pictures of, people, rock people that are all up and down the halls and stuff. I thought it was really cool because when you walk in, I don't know if it really is like the ground is like marble or whatever, but
everything's very
pretty.
white, right?
Yeah,
very white marble floor to ceiling.
I think so. I was just thinking when I walked in, had this clock, like this projection clock on the ground, which was super cool. And then you have this like, straight on. There's like a few steps downstairs that you have this whole like area, I guess, basically like if your room's not ready and you're not going to a park or something, I don't know,
just
and you
just
can hang out / work / whatever. Yeah, they had a velvet bar and unfortunately never got to see it. In fact, I never knew what time it opened. We were back at the room at one point or back at the hotel and I thought, I wonder if it opens at 4.
That would
I think
be my
it was
guess.
Very close to it, but it wasn't open yet.
And you guys had very limited hotel resort time because you guys were hitting the parks hard.
And that was a little sad because when you were reading the pool, so our room actually overlooked the pool and it was super
beautiful
cute
view.
Or super cool. I mean, we would have liked to have taken advantage of that, but we did not get to.
Well, and something to note, because you guys got down there around 10 a.m., the difference between something like this and Disney, specifically when you're staying at one of the legacy hotels, is that you have to go check in and get your room key.
Yeah.
Because your room key is going to serve as your express pass. Correct. You cannot just say, you know what, I'm going to do like an online check-in. I'm going to go straight to the parks. Right. You would be without express pass.
Correct.
I don't know. I wish there was a way they could build that into the app or something where you could, log in online, have a QR code.
That'd be cool.
So you wouldn't have to stop by the hotel. Yeah. But to be honest, if you're driving, you're going to want to go park at the hotel anyway. So just pop in, quick check in, get your stuff and go.
And with Hard Rock, it is the closest to the parks.
Yeah. I mean, it's right on Studio's doorstep pretty much, right? How long was your walk to the parks?
So there is a, how do you say, like a garden view, or maybe that's a
garden walk?
Some type of view walk. There is a boat that you can catch, but there's also a quick walk. I would say 10 minutes or so, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not. But Josh was funny because he goes all the time, him and Kat. And they actually said, if you walk through the parking lot, you have a quicker walk.
Oh, okay.
And we actually were at the truck And I said, Josh told me to do that. So we actually did. And we're like, well, worst case scenario, we have to walk back. But it was crazy because it dumped us right out. It was crazy quicker than that view walk.
Yeah.
But the view walk is beautiful. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of bamboo. It's right there on the water, and whatever they put in the water, it's a very pretty blue.
Yeah. I love their water there.
Yeah, I do too. And it's a great walk.
Yeah, and if you've been to Universal Studios, as you're walking up to the Studios Park, Universal Studios Park, in the big archway to the right is where the entrance from Hard Rock is, because then you're getting your completely own separate security, right?
Yes, correct.
So that's got to save a lot of time, I would think, as opposed to being, all these people that are coming from other resort transportations, the moderate level and the value level and people parking and all that all have to go into the exact same funnel of security. This has to be another huge advantage to staying at Hard Rock.
Yeah, but it is also the Lowe's Portofino walk as well.
So those two merge together.
Yes.
Okay. So still though, that's still
It's
a lot
just
better than having, all these other resorts and parking and locals and all that stuff coming in.
Absolutely. I think every time we went through security, there was sometimes it was just me and her.
That's great.
Then it was like maybe a couple of people in front of us or something, and it's just so quick.
Yeah.
And you're right there at Universal, which was the Mardi Gras, and we had all the Mardi Gras side, but we were going to islands because the Express Pass, there's only 2 rides that do not get it, and that is Hagrid's and Velocicoaster.
Yeah.
So
you wanted to take advantage of trying to get over there. And that's one of those scenarios too, where, this is kind of a rope drop, early access if they're doing the hours for hotel guests type of thing, head to Islands of Adventure first, knock out Hagrid's probably number 1, and then right over to Velocicoaster number 2. That's got shorter wait times anyway. Before we get into your park time and some of the Mardi Gras information and the food that you had, talk about your room. Once it was ready, you guys booked a king standard room, but you got a little more than you bargained for, didn't you?
Yeah. So when we were checking in, the lady was super nice. The team member.
Yeah.
And I ended up saying it's her birthday, and she kind of said, which was funny because she said, "Oh, you should have told me earlier," which our room wasn't ready.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of said something to Rita, and she goes, "Yeah, our room's not ready, so she could just put us wherever,
Right.
So I think she actually did. Again, like I said, we were overlooking the pool, which was really cool. And the king room we were in had 2 doors that led to other rooms. So basically, and what Jeremy actually told me was this was a suite that it was bigger because then you had 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, I mean it could open as a 3-bedroom suite. So
correct.
So imagine this, on either side were a standard room with 2 queen beds. Then you had 2 lock-off doors that led into a much larger king room. You guys had just the king room portion.
Correct.
So you were locked off from the other 2.
Yes.
But that's how it could open up. And so you guys had this giant room. Like, explain the space as you walked in. Because you even had a pass-through bathroom, right?
Yes.
It's still an open studio room,
Yeah.
but it felt almost like a 1-bedroom. Like, what was all involved in it? Because it was an odd layout.
It was. It was. And when we got to the door, there was like no other doors around. And I was like, oh my goodness, what are we going to walk into? So we walked in, and, right to your right was, it's a smaller fridge. It's a small fridge, but a fridge, your coffee maker, your little like bar area. No
sink though.
No
correct?
sink.
Okay.
And no microwave.
Okay.
Which that kind of sucked. But downstairs where you can get your Starbucks drinks,
They've got them.
they've got them.
Okay.
They've got a microwave.
Yeah.
To your left was a little closet, and then past the fridge and everything was the open door to go into the bathroom. Bathroom is small, kind of like 1 sink, glass shower, and then a toilet, and nothing locks off. It all is together. And then there's a door on the other side that then leads basically to the king bed.
Yeah, I was really surprised watching, I watched your walkthrough video and all of it. I was really surprised at the lack of using the space of this room for the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they could have put in a shower and tub. They could have, because then, if you bypass that door to the right and you go straight into the room, what are you left with? Because this actually ended up being one that could sleep 4, as opposed to the normal king room, which would only sleep 2.
No, because I think they all have a couch that pulls out.
Oh, do they? Okay.
I believe
even
so.
the other one. So they sleep 4 regardless, even the king room. Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So they had a couch, and it was like an actual L-shaped couch.
Yeah.
And then there was a table with 4 chairs. Because it was funny, we came back on the day we were checking out for her birthday and got Starbucks coffee, and she was going to sit to eat in her bed or our bed or whatever, and it was hysterical because she was like, "What am I doing?" And she got sat at the actual round table, and I was
it was nice to have that space for 4. And then there was a weird little desk with 2 other chairs against the wall.
Yeah, there was.
Did that appear that it was set up for business? I mean, literally, if you're there on business, that's where you're setting up your laptop. It didn't even look like a very big surface. That part I found very odd. It was a weird use of space.
It was. I don't know, because I wouldn't sit there because I would sit at the 4-person table to do my work.
For sure.
Because literally you're overlooking the pool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a weird space. And then you kind of come around the corner and there's no door shut off or anything to the king bed.
Right. Was there another TV there in front of the king bed, or you only had one TV?
Yes. So there was a king bed.
So you had 2 TVs?
Yes.
Okay. One in front of the couch, one in front of the king bed. That's nice. So how was decor in here? Is this very rock and roll heavy, or is it slight touches?
Slight touches.
Okay.
There was a pillow with like a peace sign on it.
Yeah.
There was record
Art.
on the wall. Art, on the wall. But subtle. It was really cool because in the toilet room they had, or bathroom, but on the toilet there was a sticker before you unwound the toilet paper.
Okay.
And I think it said B-sides or something like that. It was very it was like rock and rolls.
Yeah.
There's a few touches like that, and then
interesting.
It was funny. And then you had your hard rock, shampoo and conditioner, and just little touches, nothing heavy in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's not going to be overly in your face, like walking through a Disney all-star music value resort, right? Like over large. I mean, this again I think it really does have, to me, that Vegas style feel. So it's probably good it's not too over the top. So let's talk a little bit about Mardi Gras. You guys going to the parks and all. Talk about the lanyard they're doing this year, because if you remember last year they had, I think it was $85, got you 15 items, and they came out to whatever that is, like $5 an item. It was good on everything. It didn't expire. They changed it up this year, but it's still a pretty good savings. What are your options for a lanyard this year?
Well, it's a actual food and beverage like card, like gift card.
Yeah. Yes.
But
it's much more gift card.
Yeah, but it's just food and beverage. So if you're wanting a bottled Coke, that's considered merchandise, and they won't use that there.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was an actual, like, I don't think I
almost
really
straight up gift
realized,
card.
Yes, and I thought we could use it for anything, like merchandise or anything. You cannot.
So as in food and beverage, though, are you talking literally only the Mardi Gras booths, or can you use it at quick service restaurants?
You can use it anywhere that's food and beverage, like like Toothsome or any restaurant, any. But again, it can't be merchandise.
Gotcha. Okay.
So everything's already discounted, so it's not like I had to show my annual pass. So you can pay $65, but you get a $75 card, or you can pay $120 and you get a $150 card.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and did that one because I'm like, we're going to use it. It doesn't expire.
Right. Does not expire is the huge thing.
Right. And you can use it, like I said, anywhere if we, pop into Toothsome or whatever. So, with that being said, you do, though, when you go to the Mardi Gras booths, you do get a discount with your annual pass.
Yeah.
Off the food.
Yeah, that's nice. So you're saving twice, really.
Yes.
And also with these
Yes.
cards, you can purchase unlimited amounts. I mean, you could have paid $240 and gotten $300 in cards. Then, use the booths, had an expensive dinner at Cowfish, and you're saving all this money, plus you're getting AP discount.
Correct.
So that's really, really good. Did you blow through the whole card? Or do you still have some
I think I still have money.
on it? Okay. All right.
Rita does too, because she went ahead and bought one.
Now, were you able to use how did you guys do the purchasing of food and thing? Because she's not an AP. Were you able to show your AP for her purchases?
Yes.
And then she used her own card, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so she still got the discounts.
Yeah, that was super cool. And that was really good because I actually probably saved her quite a bit of money
Oh, I'm
because we actually, on the way out, when we were checking out, went shopping in the Hard Rock gift shop area.
Yeah.
And she bought quite a few things for her birthday.
Nice.
So,
very cool.
yeah.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about Mardi Gras. What is the decor like? Did you go through the tribute store? Just the overall,
did.
what does Mardi Gras look like this year?
I feel like it's, they had floats and all kinds of stuff that people were just standing on. They didn't really have those. There was a bunch of booths and stuff.
Yeah, well, the parade, and somebody feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, the parade is actually back this year. So my guess is that's what they're reserving it for.
Yeah, and we didn't see it.
Last year, the parade wasn't back, but they still wanted to take advantage of the floats, so they just put them throughout the park all day.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense then. So it was a little like, meh, like, and then it was funny because
it's tough when we just got back from the French Quarter, the actual one 2 weeks ago, right?
That's true. That's true.
So.
We were walking at one point and there was, I think, the end of the parade because she goes, up, there's your parade.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I think it was the end of, what's that, Monkey Boots from Dora the Explorer, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, yeah. So the decor was, again, I think I liked seeing more of the floats like sitting
Being
around
spread
and
out.
people like throwing the beads and stuff like that. But there was a place that said Nala over that was all big letters and stuff, which was really cool.
Yeah.
So it was subtle this year, I feel like, compared to, but again, we didn't see the parade and everything. So
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the cavalcades over at Disney.
Yeah.
Like, I actually kind of prefer them in a way, or I wish that we could somehow have both, and I don't know how you would do that, but yeah, I agree with you. I think that'd be a little better. Well, let's start off at the French Quarter booth, which is located in New York at Universal Studios. What did you guys try over there, and what did you think of your items?
So we got the beignets first because I was like, let's do dessert first. They were $5.99. Of course, they're sweet fried pastry with powdered sugar, and they come in the cute little bag, like come in New Orleans. And
Your paper bag?
yep. These were very much more like the New Orleans style beignets.
Oh, okay.
They were the square. They were denser. They're not fluffy like the Disney ones.
Okay.
They were good, but again, just coming from actual Cafe du Monde,
Right, 2 weeks earlier.
they were fine for.
Okay, but let's say these, because not everybody's going to maybe make it to New Orleans, but
Right.
they're making it to the Orlando
Yep.
parks. Where are you getting beignets? At Port Orleans French Quarter, like Scat's Cat Club, or are you getting them at this booth? Which one wins out for?
Well,
And I'm not even talking what you deem traditional. Now that you've had a real beignet in NOLA,
I would.
which do you like better?
I would still say this Scat's Cat Club
Okay.
because I like them fluffy.
I do too.
But I really, really liked New Orleans ones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but if you're wanting more a traditional and not so fluffy and, a little more dense, then absolutely come over here.
Yeah. Okay. So dessert first.
Dessert first.
Then you moved on into more of a meal.
We did. We first got the drink, though, that you can refill the cup. I think it was $17.99 to start out with.
Mm-hmm. What are there different drinks available?
Yes.
Okay.
But not a ton because then they're the same at like the different booths.
Right, they have to have them at every booth for you to get your refill.
I think she got, I'm trying to remember if it was the hurricane or it was a bunch of juices and rums, and
Bunch of
it was
juices.
good. It was good.
Sounds like a hurricane.
It was good. Or category 5. Anyways, it was super good, and to refill it was $12.99.
Okay.
I think so.
How big is this roughly? I mean, is it like is it what we're all thinking of a refillable plastic souvenir cup? Is that the size of
Yes,
it?
I think
Okay.
so.
All right. So all right, $12.99. I guess that's a
And
little more than I would think, to be
I
honest.
was confused too because it says on the billboards $8.99 and it's $12.99, but it was the light up one. So
Okay.
maybe I don't know.
So what
Maybe
else did you have there?
bigger.
What did you eat
But
there?
We ended up eating at the French Quarter, New York, which is the blackened chicken po' boy for $7.99. This is blackened chicken, Cajun mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, pickle, served on a French Quarter baguette. We did not do tomato because she kind of like you doesn't like tomatoes. So it was good. The chicken, the blackened chicken was really good. We actually ended up eating that separately. The bread was just too much and it wasn't.
Well, and again, 2 weeks earlier, you had a legit New Orleans po' boy bread, which is some of the best bread I've ever had in my entire life for a sandwich. So it's definitely not comparing to that.
No, it's not.
Okay.
But the chicken was really good, and it's a big, good. It's a good size portion. I was really impressed with that.
Their portion versus price size seems really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, again, $7.99. You know, if you let's just say you walked into a quick service restaurant at a theme park, you added fries on the side. That's probably $15.99. There was.
Yes.
Okay, so it was a full meal.
Yeah.
For $7.99 at a quick service Orlando theme park restaurant, that's $14.99, $15.99. So that's actually really good.
Yeah.
And then what else did you have here?
So we got the shrimp gumbo with rice. This was fantastic.
Okay.
I really liked it. The rice was cooked to perfection, in my opinion. So it's New Orleans style gumbo with Gulf shrimp, bacon, andouille sausage, okra, bell peppers, and served over white rice for $5.99. And it was really good. The shrimp was really good. The sausage, there was okra, and they were pretty decent size, but it was really good. The taste, the spice.
Yeah.
I really, really liked it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably say this well, actually, this might be the last time I say it. We had legit gumbo 2 weeks ago in New Orleans.
Yep.
Comparable? I mean, is this something that if you had been served this gumbo in New Orleans, well, you'd have been like, yeah, this is New Orleans gumbo.
I think so.
Okay.
I think
it
it
looked
had
delicious.
It was, and I think it had a little bit more sauce to rice ratio, whereas in New Orleans it didn't have as much sauce. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. I mean, the pictures look great. It looked very rich in
Yes.
flavor. Like it looked like a really good kind of broth and sauce and all.
It really was.
Next, we're going to move on to one that I'm extremely jealous of, especially because, well, this is Nashville chicken in San Francisco. I've never had Nashville hot chicken.
Okay.
Mostly because, well, I haven't been to Nashville. There aren't a ton of places that you see it around here. I feel like it usually comes with pickles. I know I could get it without it, but I actually went while you were down there. I went to lunch by myself on Friday in St. Augustine. I went to this new Mexican place and I had Nashville hot chicken tacos.
Were they fantastic?
They were absolutely incredible.
Wow.
How was what you got there? Because I am super, super jealous of this one.
We were driving down. I'm going to kind of veer off a little bit.
Okay.
We were driving down and Rita was like, you know what I want for my birthday? If they have one down here in Orlando, because a lot of places, you know, you can like Disney Springs and like they have these restaurants. Well, I want Hattie B's. And I was like, what? So Hattie B's is in Nashville.
Yeah.
But it's also in Atlanta. And we looked it up and unfortunately there was not one. But she was telling me that it is like amazing.
Yeah.
So this
is
was
well known.
This was no Hattie B's, but this was Nashville hot chicken mac and cheese for $10.99. It's creamy white cheddar mac and cheese topped with crispy chicken bites tossed in Nashville hot sauce and green onions. So there's a hot honey or a golden barbecue. We did the hot honey.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not Hattie B's, but she said it was very, very good. And I guess kind of comparable. I thought this was fantastic.
How was the actual mac and cheese portion? Like, I mean, even If this had no
Amazing.
chicken on it, this is a straight mac and cheese dish.
It was
Is this a
amazing.
really good mac? Wow.
It was so good that like it's a creamy white cheddar mac and cheese. It's those shells that like little cups almost.
Yeah, like little seashells.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. So it really
That
holds all the
holds-
sauce and stuff inside of it.
Yes. And the Nashville hot chicken. I mean, first of all, it was so cool because we ordered it and we're watching the guy like pretty much like
Oh, nice.
doing it and like taking the crispy chicken out of the oil and then stirring the sauce in it so it's not sitting in it. So then he puts it on top of this mac and cheese and it's very crunchy,
Okay.
and then you have the creamy and the hot honey. Oh,
Is this?
if we could go back before and
Oh,
get it.
I know. I want to make sure we do. I want to try these foods. I need to make it down there for Mardi Gras.
Because then I want to get the king cake for the kids. I was
for
gonna
sure.
bring it home, and the king cake is $12.99, but it is an actual like miniature king cake.
Yeah.
It is not just a bite or just a
Okay.
piece. It is the whole thing with the baby and all.
Is the chicken on top of this? Is it one piece of chicken
No.
that is then diced, or
Oh.
it's actual small pieces that are fried as is? You know what I mean? Because if you actually get like a chicken breast
Yeah.
and you fry it and then you cut it up, there's a different ratio of chicken to breading.
I think
I'm
it was.
guessing that's what they did.
I think it was how you said it, where they cut it up, bread it,
Oh, okay.
fry
So
it.
small bites.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes,
Now,
because it was all like, it wasn't like you could see the chicken without breading. Does
Gotcha.
that make sense?
Yep, that makes
Okay.
perfect sense.
Okay.
Was this a really good portion? Because now, as much as we go back and talk about, wow, $7.99 for this full chicken po' boy, $5.99 for this shrimp gumbo, then we jumped to $10.99 for the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
It was a cup. It was for $10.99. I would say it was a little expensive on the
Okay.
expensive side for portion wise, but it was so good. I'd pay for it again. Like,
Oh wow, really?
It was. I think they can charge this because it's that good.
Okay. Hey,
So-
I'm down. I'd pay $11 for it next time then. And then finally at the Fusion food truck in London, you had two items. One of them I was very, very jealous about, but I have a feeling I'm not going to be jealous about it by the look of your face. And
No.
what was that one? Because remember, we had this item technically in New Orleans, and it was nothing it was not what we expected. Remember
Yes.
at Carousel Bar?
Yes. So they are the Creole crab beignets. So Lucy said they had crab beignets at the Carousel Bar, and when we got them, they reminded me of hush puppies.
Yeah, like a crab hush puppy.
Yep.
Crab balls.
Ball. They were balls, and they had that consistency and that, to me.
Yeah.
It was good, but so these were actually, so it says Cajun brown sugar dusted beignets stuffed with creamy crab dip and scallions.
Why would they do that?
So I actually was watching, and they were beignets. She was cutting them
Oh.
and
then stuffing them?
squishing it's a bag creamy crab dip and squirting it into the beignet, and it would overflow.
I can already tell you right now, I think that when food is being described, if I ever again hear the words being used squishing or squirting, I potentially do not want to dine on that food.
No.
I will say that right now.
Yeah. So here was the hard part. The creamy crab dip was good. The taste, you could taste crab, you could taste Old Bay. It was cream cheesy, tasty,
Yeah.
crab, crabby, all the above. The sad part is I needed a chip to go with the creamy, and the beignet everything was soft, basically. And you don't want to eat everything soft like that.
You missed
We
like
threw
that
one
crunch.
away.
You missed that crunch
Yes.
to creaminess
Yes.
ratio.
Yep.
This is such an odd decision to me. I totally get the savory sweet combinations,
I didn't
I-
feel like it was very sweet though.
with the brown sugar and all. It
Well, and
wasn't?
honestly, I felt like it was, it says Cajun brown sugar. I started to say it felt like I tasted on top more of like a Old Bay-ish
Okay.
like stuff. I really didn't
I
get
guess I
sweet.
understand the theory that they're going with. They're almost thinking like, look, basically they want a handheld crab dip.
Yeah.
Right? But I feel like you'd be better off instead doing that in a sense where, and I know this wouldn't be a beignet, so they wouldn't do this, but wrapping it in a wonton.
Yeah.
And deep frying it.
That
so
would
you
be
get
amazing.
your chip.
Yes.
You get your crunch and your creamy in one bite.
Yep.
This is such an odd combination.
And it was sad because, so you got 3 of them for $9.99.
Okay.
$10.
But you guys literally threw an entire one away?
Yep.
Wow. I oddly enough, though, I want to try it.
Yeah,
Is that weird of me?
Because I took a bite and then I was like, oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? The taste together, all of it, it was really good. And so it's one of those where I took a bite and then I was like, and then I was like, but the taste, let me take another bite.
You can't decide if you like it.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
Okay. But there was some saving grace at this food truck because you got a dessert.
I did.
What was this thing? Because it
was crazy
beautiful.
Cool.
It looked so cool. This was Instagram worthy.
Yes, it was. So it is called a Mardi Gras bubble waffle, and this is $8.99. So they are literally like cooking these waffles cones that they wrap, and it's literally like some of it's flat and some of it's bubbly.
Yeah, it literally looks like bubbles on it. Yeah. It looks like something that would have been served for dessert on the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Yeah. So it comes with ube and matcha swirl soft serve ice cream. So it was like a purple and green.
Yeah, that's like that potato-y. They do the ube donuts over at Everglazed.
Yes.
The purple donuts, the vegan.
Yep. And it's in the Belgian bubble waffle. And it is topped with a Mardi Gras sprinkles and sweet corn poppy sticks, but they also sprinkled
Pocky sticks. What is a sweet corn pocky stick?
Oh,
Pockies are. I think I know what the Pockies are. You can get little
looks like
packs
potato
of them.
stick. Yeah.
And
they did. I tasted them. They were just
okay.
Crunchy.
But I think you can buy them where they're like covered in chocolate and different things like that.
Yeah,
that's a Pocky stick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was
all right.
A plain one, and they stuck 2 of them in the ice cream. But they also, with this one, they actually sprinkled on the Pop Rocks.
Oh,
so,
that's the Mardi Gras sprinkles or Pop Rocks. Nice.
Yeah. So then they were popping, and so the ice cream was fantastic. Here's the hard part. I think the waffle was, again, that kind of unfortunately, this truck has the sad part of both having the beignets not being crunchy and the waffle not being crunchy.
Oh, so it was soft.
So it was a little more softer.
Interesting.
But the taste was really good. It was hard though because I'm eating it, and yet because the ice cream's it's getting softer.
Gotcha. This would have been much better in a traditional waffle cone.
Oh yeah,
it sounds like
100%.
As opposed,
it's super cool and it looks neat. And I just ended up eating the ice cream. I took a couple of bites, and then you're almost. This is gonna sound horrible, and I really don't mean it to sound horrible, but it's soggy bread. It's starting to get soggy bread. So I took a couple of bites, and then when the one bite was where I'm like, now it's just floppy and soggy.
That does not sound good.
I know. Then I just ate the ice cream, and the soft serve ice cream I really enjoyed.
Okay.
And then I threw the whole thing away.
What else? You did have where did you end up eating a lunch on Friday? For the first,
so,
we had never been here.
Yeah, we ended up, we walked past it quite a few times. It's right by Chez Alcatraz, and it is right by the candy store, and it is Richie's Burgers.
Mm-hmm.
And this was really good.
Yeah.
So it's how do you say, like
it's
a quick
service.
service. You stand in a line, you go to the counter and order, and then they call like your name or whatever, so you can sit down inside, which there was plenty of seats inside, and that was super nice. So we sat down, and I got a mushroom Swiss burger, which the truffle and oil, the stuff on it was so good. It's they have condiments like mayonnaise and ketchup and stuff, but nothing comes on it.
Okay.
So which is like, yep. So Rita got like the bacon cheeseburger one with the yellow cheese,
Mhm.
and it looked good. She said it was really good. She said her burger was unfortunately a little dry, but it's super cool because this is an open kitchen and you could watch them making all this. And I saw the patties that, I mean, they're legit
Yeah.
patties that are, they're making them. And
Oh,
well,
wow.
I mean, they're already like
Right.
formed, but
As opposed to a
And they're grilling them.
Disney quick service burger is a Bubba burger.
yeah. And these
By all
might
means,
be like, they might be because they're, I guess you call them raw and they're formed. And then they're just putting them on the grill and
Right.
cooking them. So hers might have got a little maybe overcooked or whatever. Cause I mean, he's sitting there watching them too.
Yeah, but it's not like you're
Mine-
ordering them to your
like-
your doneness.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
They're cooking them all well done.
Yes.
Okay.
But mine happened to be probably cooked a little less,
Oh, good.
which was fantastic because it was amazing. It was juicy. I didn't need anything. She actually went ahead and put some condiments on her burger.
Yeah.
But mine was fantastic. And then I ate, and it comes with fries. So I ate pretty much the whole thing and then started peeling some of the the bread off. But it was really good.
How are the fries in comparison again to just say our standard theme park fries over at a
They're great.
Disney? Yeah.
They're great. Yeah. Normal, regular fries to me. I think they have a little seasoning stuff like on them, but they were really good. And I ate a lot of those too. But it was a really good. And that was our only like really lunch. And we were walking a lot and doing a lot of the rides that day.
Yeah. So you guys really hit the roller coasters hard.
Mhm.
Express Pass obviously came in handy.
Oh yeah.
How was your experience though doing Velocicoaster and Hagrid's on standby?
It was fine. So it was really neat. We had our phones, but I actually asked for Hagrid's. I guess it'll notify you when it goes
Yeah.
under like 70.
Yeah, you can set a notification in the Universal Orlando app to say, if this ride goes below this wait time, send me a notification so I can head over there. So you can go, look, I'm not getting in a line that's more than 60 minutes for standby. If it hits 60, it'll notify you and you can make your way over.
Right. Well, I guess we just kept kind of checking the app anyways to see what it said. And we were, I think, near there when I think it did say 70. And I was like, hey, it was supposed to notify me. So then we were like, well, let's go ahead and walk over there. We were doing really well until we were inside.
Yeah.
And then it went down and we sat.
That's
and
the
then
worst.
it was because we were about to walk away and she threatened, like, all right, we're going to leave.
Yeah.
And as soon as she did, it like said, and so we're like, oh, because I said, as soon as I sit down, of course, it'll come up.
Of course.
Well, no. And then, so she threatened, so she's like, well, I should have threatened a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
It seemed like we waited like 20 minutes for that,
for
but
it being broken down?
but I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah.
It might have been 10 or 15, but it stopped for a while, but then we got to ride it and it was awesome. And then Velocicoaster, it's always posted at, whatever it is.
Yeah,
And
it's usually under an hour now.
It usually is. And it was, it didn't take us that long at all. So, we ended up riding Velocicoaster twice. The
Nice.
first day and then the second day. And then we waited for front row because it was her birthday. So we were trying to do everything front row. We did Rip Ride Rocket front row. We did Hulk front row. When we did Velocicoaster front row, I can't wait to ride that with you. And we need to wait for
Like a
front
whole
row.
new experience.
Oh my goodness. That is the best.
That's great.
Like the best. So
Yeah, you guys really made your good advantage of that Express Pass, because
Yep.
you're telling me kind of throughout the day what you guys are hitting and all. Was there anything that you felt you missed or just didn't have time for? I mean, It sounds
No.
like you guys really conquered, I mean, that's a question that a lot of people will have is, how many days do I need in Universal Orlando to experience it all? Let's say 2 days, park hopper, Express Pass unlimited, whether you buy it outright or you stay at a Legacy Hotel. Is that enough time to experience Universal Orlando as a whole, or did you feel rushed because it was a very different experience for you compared to the way that our experience is now, which are very laid back.
Yeah.
We are at a point where, and we're very, very fortunate because we can go to these theme parks often enough that we might go by a Hagrid's and go 70 minutes. I don't feel like doing that right now.
yeah.
Did you feel rushed? Do you think another day was needed and you maybe could have had a more relaxed atmosphere, enjoyed the hotel, had a sit down meal? How much time do you think someone needs in Universal who hasn't been in a decade like Rita?
Well, I'm glad she has 2 more days. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Because, I'm a pass holder, so I can do this anytime. I can go, pretty much, give or take. But I was like, what do you want to do? What do you want to ride? I kind of did want to do the train to Harry Potter, like going back and forth between the parks. But that is the one thing we did miss.
Okay.
Which, again, I don't think she really was.
But that could be a focus.
Yeah, next time. Yeah, absolutely.
Or that could have been the 3rd day. So it
Right.
does sound like 3 days.
Yeah.
Are really the way to do that.
Yeah, and like I said, she rode everything she wanted to.
Oh, good.
Like,
perfect.
We did. We rode Woody Woodpecker, which is a kid's ride, basically.
Is it like
It's like Barnstormer.
Okay, I was gonna say
it's a little bit longer. And at one point, I was like, "Whoa, I think this is intense for little kids," and she just laughed at me. But it was fun. We had a really good time. We did ET. We did a ton of stuff. But then there was a few things we didn't do. Like I rode the Minions for the first time ever. That was super fun.
Is it? We've
really
not
enjoyed
done that.
I know. I think the next time we do, we need to go.
Well, here's a great question. When are you and Rita going back? And will you invite me this time?
Yeah. She gave me some dates, and then
we could check out Royal Pacific, or we could check out Portofino Bay and get that unlimited express. So, and you know who we could do that through? Main Street Magic Travel.
We can.
Like how I worked that little one in there?
Do.
It's mainstmagictravel.com. You can go ahead and fill out a form for a free quote.
Yep.
Rhonda, so you should go ahead and fill out a form for a free quote.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and price out that vacation for you.
Awesome.
I was so glad that you got to go and experience this. I know I've joked about it, about me not going, but I didn't want to go, to be honest. I wanted you to have time with your friend. You work your butt off. And so you getting to have that ability to go and do all that was just, I thought was amazing. I'm so glad you had a blast. I'm so glad she had fun for her birthday. She got to do everything she wanted, but she does have 2 days left.
Yep.
Do those have to be used by a certain date that you know of? By end of year, or is it June?
June.
Okay.
June something.
All right.
I can't remember the exact date.
So we'll find a time before June. If you invite me, I can sleep on a couch or the floor or something. I don't care. It would be fun to go back and experience that. And then maybe she's got someone, another friend or something y'all could bring. I don't know. We'll see. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Rhonda, thank you for sharing your adventure with us and giving us all these tips and stuff like that. We had not been to Universal since January 1.
Yeah, I know.
So I bet it felt good to get back. I miss it.
Yeah.
We are going to get back there fairly soon, though, and we're going to figure out something for me to try out some of this Mardi Gras stuff. If you are listening and you want these brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to check out mainstreet16.com for our incredible Main Street Challenge weekend coming up April 22nd to 24th. Again, today, April 5th, is the last day to sign up. And when I say that, it's the last day to sign up so that you can get a shirt if you are participating in the challenge. You can still join us for the challenge, even if you don't sign up by today. We just cannot guarantee that you will get a shirt that you can wear on the ride day. And they're really cool shirts, and they've got all the rides on the back. And we're going to give you a shirt and a Sharpie, and you can check off the rides as you go. You're going to need some help with that. So if you're a solo team, you either just have to turn your shirt around and then check it off and turn it back, or you're going to have to ask for a volunteer to help you out there. I don't know what to tell you, but so go ahead and check out mainstreet16.com. As long as you're online, we would love if you leave us a rating and review,
because it'll help our show grow.
That's all we got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.